Om. बीजापूरगदेक्षुकर्मुकुरुजाब्जक्राब्जपाशोत्फलम् व्रह्यग्रस्वपिशानरत्नकलशैः प्रोद्यत्करां भोरुवः ध्येयो वल्लभया सपद्मकरया आश्लिष्टोज्ज्वलद्भूषया विश्वोत्पत्तिविपत्तिसंस्तुतिकरो विघ्नेश इष्टार्थदः श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं धूतीक्रमं मण्डलम् वीरान्ध्यष्टचतुष्कषष्टिनवकं वीरावळी पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनीमन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम् मधर्मे मधुकैटभग्निमहिषः प्राणापहारोऽध्यमे हेलनिर्मितधूम्रलोचनवते हे चण्डमुण्डर्धिनी निःशेषीकृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसनि संहरा सुदुरितन् दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके सर्वं श्रीचण्डी महालक्ष्मी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः सद्गुरुं श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः Welcome all of you for another session on the insights of Sri Vidya theories. And today, interestingly, we are looking into the prelude to Lalita Sahasranama, actually. But when I started reading the Bhashyam, when I started reading the text and the various commentaries, I realized that even before talking about the prelude, that is, the conversation that took place between Hayagriva and Agastya, there's a lot of interesting, what I would say in a very in a chill manner, that there is a lot of fun facts about Lalita Sahasranama, which I discovered. And I have listed 18 facts for you for today's class, actually. There are 18 different facts, which I think we would have not heard it before, actually. So this journey is going to make it much more interesting for all of you in terms of why you are chanting Lalita Sahasranamam. What is that? Something is there in that what is making us to chant it, actually. You understand what I'm trying to say? There are so many Sahasranamams are there. Like for all the Devatas, there is Sahasranamam is there, actually. But why Lalita Sahasranamam, actually? So I feel that I kind of found certain answers for that by the grace of Lalita Ambika herself. And I'm very happy that I'm going to share it with all of you. So can we start the fun session? Okay. So in the prelude, as I said, we are talking predominantly of the commentary written by a person known as Bhaskaracharya. And Bhaskaracharya is the foundation for the entire Sri Vidya, actually. Before Bhaskaracharya, Sri Vidya existed, but it is because of Bhaskaracharya that Sri Vidya came into light. For example, before Shankaracharya, before Adi Shankara, Advaita as a philosophy was there. It's not that Advaita was found by Shankara or something like that. It was propagated, it was brought to light by Shankara, actually. So similarly, the Sri Vidya as a practice was, the fame came out because of Bhaskaracharya. And whatever I'm speaking is because of the mercy of Bhaskaracharya Acharya, and it is all his writings which has been piled up together, which is called as the Saubhagya Bhaskaram. The text that is written by Bhaskaracharya is called as the Saubhagya Bhaskaram. And on Saubhagya Bhaskaram, there are a lot of other commentaries and other interpretations have come up, just the way today we are landed up to doing one, actually. So, fact number one. As usual, the prelude is starting with what is called as offering the obeisance to Ganesha, actually. And it is described there in the prelude to the Sahasranama that Ganesha is invoked not just for the formality not just for the formality that he should be worshipped as the primary deity. You all know that we first invoke Ganesha. Before we invoke any devata, we are supposed to offer obeisances to Ganesha in some or the other form, and then only we are supposed to do the other Pradhana Devata Upasana actually. But here, in the Sahasranama, it is very interestingly given that we are not invoking the blessings of Ganesha just for the formality that he is the he is the one who should be worshipped before any devata. But he is the one who has actually captured the heart of Akhilandeshwari herself, because he is the son. So this Ganesha is somebody who is very dear to that Akhilandeshwari actually. And we are here to understand that Akhilam actually. Akhilam Jagat. So to understand that Jagat, without the grace of Ganapati, it is not possible actually, because it is a vast ocean actually. Akhilam is the ocean actually, the Jagat, this is an ocean. So, and that the manifestation of this Jagat is Akhila Anda Ishwari. That is Jagannatha herself. So we are attempting to understand her. Therefore, we are invoking that Ganesha, who is an exclusive part of that Akhilandeshwari herself, and who has covered the heart of Akhilandeshwari actually. So this is the invocation that is given as far as the Lalitha Sahasranama is concerned. And also, further, the invocation, after offering Namaskaram to Ganapati, it invokes Rishikesha in the form of Shri Ranganatha. Because Rangam is a word which means a throne actually. Arangam. In Tamil, we say it Aranganatha Swami actually. Sri Ranganatha Swami is called as Aranganatha Swami. Arangam means what? The throne actually. So that throne, that Arangam, is a symbolic representation of the Simhasanam on which Devi is seated actually. In other words, that Aranganatha is none other than the Paramatma Tattva, and that Paramatma Tattva is what Devi is seated upon. So we are trying to learn what? Atma Jnanam. So we are invoking our Atma Jnanam through the understanding of, or the study of, or the recitation of Lalitha Sahasranama. So that's the reason, specifically, Lalitha Sahasranamam is offering Namaskaram to Ranganatha. So with this invocation, it is going to the next part of the next point. This is point number 1. I told you I'm going to talk about 18 points to you, correct? So this is point number 1. Point number 2. Devi, as I mentioned in the point number 1, Akhila Anda Ishwari, Akhilandeshwari, she is a vast ocean. And in that vast ocean, she has crores and millions of names, it seems actually. Millions of names. In that millions and trillions and crores of names, she herself chose to reveal these 1,000 names actually. She herself wanted to reveal, it seems, to us. Out of her Avyaja Karuna. Because of the causeless mercy she has upon us, she selected, it seems, she selected specifically these 1,000 names actually. And she wanted this to be conveyed by Vashinyadi Vagdevatas. We will look into Vashinyadi Vagdevatas later in our, because we are going to look into the detailed understanding of Lalitha Sahasranama in the next semester. So we will be looking into Vashinyadi Vagdevatas and other aspects. Now, as of now, you can just make a note of Vashinyadi Vagdevatas. So Vashini Ityadi Devata, Vashinyadi Vagdevata, she herself planned very special. Why I am saying is that why it is so planned. You will understand later as the class is going to unfold. Very highly she has planned to reveal these 1,000 names, which is called as the Sahasranama. And she has given it purely out of her mercy for us to realize her, number one, and number two, for the greater cause of Loka Kalyanam. For the Lokakshemartham, she wanted to reveal her own self. Otherwise, it is just not possible to understand, because in an ocean, where you will begin and where you will end, you understand? There's no starting and end point to an ocean, yes or no? You understand what I'm trying to say? So Devi herself chose to for us to start with a starting point and to end with an end point, actually. Otherwise, it is just not possible for us. This is point number 2. So Devi herself revealed the thousand out of the crores and trillions and millions of names that she has in the vast cosmic ocean. She herself decided to reveal her 1,000 names through Vashinyadi Vak Devatas. This is point number 2. Point number 3. Devi realized over the point of time, it seems, that Veda, Vedantam, or even Tantra Shastras is kind of not meant for everybody in terms of grasping, understanding, following, and to make a life out of it. Okay. Not based on any other birth divisions or any other divisions, but she realized as the yuga is progressing, maybe the lifestyle, because she's our mother and she knows what is happening, right? How things are making up, how things are evolving, who are you, who am I, what we are doing, and everything she understands. So she realized, it seems, over a point of time that my children are going to have a very tough time to get back to me, actually, or to realize me within the limited time span they will have. So how can I reveal myself to them, or how can I reveal the entire dharma to them, actually, or how can I reveal bhakti to them, actually, how can I reveal jnanam to them, actually, how can I reveal this knowledge to them? So Amba decided that these entire Veda Shastram and Tantra Shastram should be converted into what is called as everyday stories of lived realities. And those everyday stories of lived realities is what is called as the Puranas. So it was she who decided that the tenet of the dharma, the jnana, the moksha that is present in Vedanta Shastram and Tantra Shastram, which is so difficult to follow for everybody, that should be simplified to the extent that they can be converted as stories, and that can reach everybody, that everybody can remember, that everybody can recite, that everybody can make an example to lead their lives. So therefore, Devi instructed Vyasa that all the devatas, including hers, should be converted into stories. And based on her instruction, Vedavyasa wrote the 18 Mahapuranas in a story format. Each Purana had a deity to deal with: Agni Purana, Shiva Purana, Vishnu Purana, Vayu Purana. So various Puranas, various tattvas, various pastimes, that is various stories, various characters, but the central understanding is Shakti and Brahman. That is Purusha and Prakriti. Very simple. Shiva and Shakti, which is ultimately leading to Brahma Chaitanyam. Very specifically, since we are dealing with Lalitha Sahasranama, let me tell you this. Lalitha Sahasranama, as many of you know, it is found in Brahmanda Purana. It is found in Brahmanda Purana, and this Brahmanda Purana is divided into three parts basically. One is Prakriya Pada, Anushanga Pada, Upotkata Pada. Sorry, four ways it is divided, not three. And the fourth one is Upasamhara Padaha. So there are four divisions are there in the Brahmanda Purana actually. And in this Upasamhara Pada, that is the fourth Pada, in the last section of the Upasamhara Pada, there is this chapter called as Lalithopakyanam is present in the Upasamhara Pada. And in that Lalithopakyanam, we have various cantos. What are the cantos? Mantrakanda, Nyasakanda, Nyasakanda, Puja Kanda, number 3, Puja Kanda, Pracharana Kanda, Homa Kanda, Homa Kanda, Rahasya Kanda, and Stotra Kanda. So these are the divisions in Lalithopakyanam. So there are 7 are there, correct? Yes or no? 7 are there. So 7 khandas or cantos are there in Lalita Sahasranama. In this, in the 7th kanda, we have the Lalita Sahasranama. Got it? Liking the class, all of you? Can see a smile in everybody's face that you are able to relate it actually. Not like my other boring theory classes actually. Correct, na? Okay, the next point, number 4. Fact number 4. This aspect, what is this? The Stotra Kanda doesn't this talks about the Lalita Sahasranama, but it doesn't speak directly about the Devi with the name or the tagline Lalita Sahasranama or Lalita Mahatripurasundari. It doesn't talk. It talks about the Devi who is known as, guess what? Any names? You will be asking, which name should I guess? You only said she's not having 1,000 names. She's having crores of names, actually. What is the name to be guessed? Correct? Yes, absolutely. She is known as Sarvamangala. Devi is known as Sarvamangala. And Sarva iti Mangalam, and that Mangalam is what we are seeking in everything, basically. So in other words, indirectly, we are seeking her, it seems actually. Sarvamangala. Because we wanted that all auspiciousness. What is Sarva Mangala? Sarva, all, Mangala, auspiciousness actually. So we are in search of that auspiciousness. And even all our desires, as dirty it can be, as dirty it might be, or can be, is also ultimately searching for this Mangalatvam only, that we are not realizing it actually. We are looking for that auspiciousness actually. But the moment we channelize this, it seems, on the original Sarvamangala, instead of going on looking for that Sarvamangala in other things, Original Sarvamangala, she herself, and when we channelize that on her, the channelization opens up our mind, it seems, actually. That blockage that we are having gets opened up, it seems, actually. So the text talks about the Devi with the name Sarvamangala. Point number 5. Human life is based on 4 pursuits, which you all know: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Correct? Dharmam, Artham, Kamam, iti Moksha. But over the point of time, as the world is progressing, what is happening? Dharmam is nowhere we are connected or talking or thinking about dharma. Because dharma is getting subdued, artha is also getting subdued, actually, because dharma is the foundation from where artha is coming, correct? But we are all focusing on what is kamam, actually. We are all focusing on kamam. And when we are talking about kamam, I'm not just talking about the lust from the sexual aspect. I'm talking about the desire in general, actually. The desire which we have on everything and anything, actually. So what has happened here? There is no dharma, there is no artha. There is only full of kama. Everywhere kamam. So what is happening? There is no stability within the system. In the outer system and the inner system, actually. Outer system means we are talking about the external world. Inner system means within ourselves, actually. And since there is so much of overemphasis on this kama tattvam, of course, there is a loss of dharma principle. So what is happening? Moksha padartham, everybody is so far away from it, actually. Nobody is bothered about liberation. Everybody is bothered about only their pleasure that they want to seek from this world in various ways, actually. So connecting this to the previous point, that is the reason that we have these charitrams or the Puranas, which is extolling, or rather re-bringing or bringing the foundation of the dharmic principles again in our society and again in our lives, actually. The other day, somebody wrote an email to me saying that, I thought that you are a tantric and you are running Sri Chandi Tantra Mahavidyalaya. But why are you doing Sri Rama Pujas and Sri Rama Navami and all? I wrote to that person saying, I wanted to copy, I'll do that actually. I'll post it to all of you so that you all can read it. First of all, I said, see, remember, I am a tantric, but are you a tantric, first of all? Number 1. Number 2, more than being a tantric, whether I like or not like, I am become a teacher of the traditions. And also running an institution, which is meant for everybody. All kinds of people, including you are there in that, perhaps. So how can I just proclaim myself to be a tantric, which you imagine with your constructive mind, and you ask me to project myself as a tantric, number 1. And number 2, when there is no any aspect of me being a human, what is the tantra that I'm going to practice, actually? And who is Rama, basically? Rama Dharma Vigraha. That is what Ramayana says, actually. If I have to see Dharma in a form, that is Rama, actually. And unless and until there is no Dharma, where is Vedam, where is Tantram, where is Shastram, what is there, actually? Dharma is a foundation. And Dharma is so contextual for everybody. Are you, yes or no? So when there is no Dharma, Where is Tantram? Where is Vedantam? Where is everything? No, there is nothing. So therefore, I didn't actually celebrate Rama Navami as you think. I celebrated Dharma, Anushtanam. I had to remember myself that no matter whatever it is, I have to walk on the principles of Dharma actually. And then we can think about being a tantric or not tantric or whatever. First of all, if somebody is a tantric, that's the last thing they will actually tell outside the world, that they are tantric, because that is a topmost secret that they have to maintain actually. That they are like the tantric actually, the tantric thing actually. So this is what is a reference I'm bringing here to all of you actually. Unless and until there is no foundation principles of Dharma, then we cannot think about the last tenet, which is called as the moksha actually. And when we have to follow Dharma, it will automatically lead to Artham. And with Dharma and Artha, that combination, whatever kamam that brings in our life, it is very much acceptable actually. Within the tenets of Dharma, whatever we are enjoying, that is absolutely fine actually. The moment it goes beyond that, then the problem comes for us and for everybody around us actually. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? So dharmam is very important. அயோக்கியத்தனம் பண்ணிட்டு நான் தந்திரத்தை படிக்கிறேன்னா அது ஒன்றுக்கும் பிரயோஜனம் இல்லை. தந்திரத்தை படிச்சாலும் வேதத்தை படிச்சாலும் எது படிச்சாலும், if you are rascal number one of order and you are a scoundrel and you are talking about bhakti, jnanam and all Sanskrit mantras and everything, both your mind, your heart is full of corrupt, and you are doing all kinds of corrupt activities, destroying everybody's lives, doing all these kind of things, and you are proclaiming yourself to be, a great devotee or everything. This is not going to help anybody actually. So dharma anushtanam is fine. First of all, that is the foremost thing. If you do that, then everything will come actually, including Devi herself will come. What is your dharma that we need to do? Swadharmam. Swadharmam is very important. With that, everything will work out. If your swadharmam is so superior, that swadharmam in itself will show you the path to moksham. That is the truth actually. People will say, what sir, I am so bound by job, family, husband, children, grandchildren. What is there for me, moksham and all? No, boss. That is not what the Shastram says. Whether people are satisfied with you or not, if you have done your work 100% satisfyingly, without any kind of hook and crook activities, that is dharma actually. Devi will come. Devi will take you where you are supposed to go. Devi will show you the path, like the way you are all sitting and studying. It's not that you people are not doing any other activities in your life. You are doing all kinds of activities, but still sitting and listening here actually. This is one example. Got it? So dharma iti moksham. And this dharma iti moksham is what is very finely elucidated in Lalitha Sahasranama, it seems. That is dharmam, artham, kamam, moksham. All the four principles are covered in Lalitha Sahasranama. And the preference, the foundation is given to dharma. The preference and the foundation is given to dharma. The next fun fact, number 6, correct? We are in 6th point. Lalitha Sahasranama has 320 shlokas in total. 320 shlokas. The prelude, which is called as the Poorvabhaga, consists of 51 shlokas. Devi's Dhyanam, the most celebrated Sindhura Runa Vigraham Trinayanam, is one mantra. One. And then followed by, we have Uttara Bhagam. The Sahasranama, the 1,000 names, which is 182 shlokas. And then the Uttarabhagam, that is the finale or the conclusion part, has 85 shlokas. So total, it will come to 320. Fact number 7. This 320 has a meaning, a rahasyam. I'm not talking about that now, actually. I'll talk about that later, actually. Why this 320? Number 7. I think these will be more interesting to all of you now. Out of all the sahasranamas, for all the devatas, as I said, if there is a devata, the devata will have yantra, the devata will have mantra, the devata will have tantra. Okay, now any devata, yantra, mantra, tantra is the foundation for any devata. If these three are there, the devata will have sahasranama also. Correct. In these devatas, all the devatas, three devatas or the three sahasranama are celebrated across the 14 planetary systems. In the 14 worlds, it is celebrated, it seems. What are the three? Number 1, Ganesha Sahasranama. Ganesha Sahasranama, which we will be shortly learning. Ganesha Sahasranama. And with that Ganesha Sahasranama only, we will be performing the Mahaganapati Sahasra Modaka Homam in Coimbatore, actually. As a part of the Loka Kalyana program from our Mahavidyalaya, we will be performing Ganapati Sahasranama Sahita Mahaganapati Mula Mantra 1,000 modaks we will be offering in the Mahayagna, actually. It is happening on the 1st of May, actually, in Coimbatore. Okay, so Ganapati Sahasranama. The second one, which you all know, guess what? Correct. Vishnu Sahasranamavali. And the third one is, of course, our queen, Lalitha Sahasranama. In this, why these three are celebrated is because only for these three Sahasranamams, commentaries are written. That is, Bhashyakaras have done Bhashyam, actually. For other Sahasranamams, Bhashyams are not available. That is, commentary is not available. So for Ganapati Sahasranamam and Lalita Sahasranamam, Bhaskaracharya has done the commentary, has written the commentary, Bhaskaracharya. And for Vishnu Sahasranama, our very celebrated Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya wrote the Bhashyam, actually. And apart from Adi Shankaracharya, Parashara Bhattar from the Shri Vaishnava Sampradayam, he also wrote the Bhashyam, actually. So these are the three Sahasranama out of all the devatas that they are celebrated, and they have meanings and they have elucidated expressions through the Bhashyakara's understanding, through the commentaries that we have derived, actually. Now, it is our duty to understand the author of the Sahasranama, because it is through the author we are able to understand the meaning of Sahasranama. So point number 8, I'm going to give you a brief history of Bhaskaracharya. So Bhaskaracharya was born in Maharashtra in a place called as Bhaga. Bhaga. I do not know. Viresh ji has to tell me later. Bhaga, is there a place in Maharashtra, actually? Bhaga is there. Okay, maybe in the history it would have been there, actually. Historically, there might be having some relevance to Bhaga. Bhagha, Bhaga, Bha Mahaprana, Bhaga. And he was from Kaushika Gotra, and the parents were with the names Shri Gambiraya, and Konambika. And mother is Konambika, Gambiraya and Konambika. Born to Gambiraya and Konambika. Bhaskaracharya's Upanayanam, that is the Brahminical initiation, took place in Kashi, actually. And Bhaskaracharya's guru in the early stages was known with the name Nrisimha Nrsimhavatari. Nrsimhavatari. The guru of Bhaskaracharya was known as Nrsimhavatari. At a very young age, it seems that Bhaskaracharya was initiated with the Devi mantra by his own father, Saraswati mantra. And it is because of this Saraswati mantra that Bhaskaracharya could actually master what is called as 18 Shastras, actually. 18 Shastras. Do you want me to tell you what are the 18 Shastras, or should we just stick on to Lalitha Sahasranama? Let me tell you later, maybe. Like, we'll stick on to the class. So make a note there and keep. What are the 18 Shastras? It is understood from Bhaskaracharya's life history that Bhaskaracharya got Shri Vidya Diksha in Gujarat from a guru, Shri Vidya guru called as Shivadatta Shukla. Shivadatta Shukla. Shivadatta Shukla, and was named as Basura Nandanatha. His Sri Vidya Diksha Nama was Basura Nandanatha. Basura Nandanatha. Bhaskaracharya had two Dharma Patnis, Dharma Patni. One was Anandi and the other one was Parvati. Anandi and Parvati. And they were also equally into Upasana, all the three of them. And it seems that along with his family, he was doing what was called as Bharata Desha Sancharaha. Like they have taken the yatra for the entire Bharata Varsham. And when they were in the South India, the Tanjore king was deeply impressed by the knowledge, by the Shastric knowledge that Bhaskaracharya had, and also the Upasana Shakti he had with him. Therefore, the Tanjore king gave one complete village as a dhanam to Bhaskaracharya. And that village is present even today with the name Bhaskarajapuram. Bhaskarajapuram. This will come near to Tiruvidai Marudur, actually. And still we have that Agraharam is there, actually. Bhaskarajapuram, the Agraharam is still there. And it seems that he has spent his last days in Tiruvidai Marudur, in that particular place. His samadhi is considered to be in Tiruvidai Marudur. And post his samadhi, his Dharmapatni constructed a Shiva temple with the name Bhaskareshwara Shiva temple, which is still there in that particular place. Bhaskareshwara Shiva temple. So this is one small introduction about Bhaskaracharya, because I wanted to talk about Bhaskaracharya for a very long time, because we are talking about extensively on Sri Vidya foundations and so many ideas. So he is the father of Sri Vidya, if I have to put it across in that way. So this is a very small understanding of Bhaskaracharya, and maybe with Devi's blessing, maybe we can look into the details of Bhaskaracharya and his life and other activities maybe later in another class about the details, actually. But this is point number 8 on the life history of Bhaskaracharya, who is the author, the commentary author of Lalitha Sahasranama. The next point number 9. Trust me, out of all the points, this is the most favorite point of mine, actually. Point number 9. It seems that Sanskrit scholars, acharyas, teachers, when they want to actually derive the 1,000 names for any gods or goddesses, that, as I told you, there are Sahasranamams are there for all the devatas, correct? Sahasranamavali is there for all the devatas. It seems that once they want to bring in the 1,000 names, it becomes very difficult in terms of compilation, it seems actually. There will be difficulty in compilation in terms of grammar, in terms of the sentence structuring, in terms of the synchronization as how to bring the meaning in cohesiveness. There is always a trouble, it seems. Number one. Number two, there is also a trouble about the repetition of the names, actually, it seems. So when they want to actually elucidate the meaning, it becomes difficult for them, it seems. Okay, na? To the same name coming in different contexts, but the meaning to be presented, it becomes very difficult, it seems. And the third difficulty, this is the most interesting difficulty. To bring sentence cohesiveness, to join sentence, it seems that they use words like cha, sai, tu, he, eva. These are the 5 words they will use to bring together, it seems. For example, in the Vishnu Sahasranama, how many of you know Vishnu Sahasranama or heard Vishnu Sahasranama? Few of you are like, some of you are very confusedly you are saying, few of you are very confidently raising hands. Fair enough. Bhutatma, Paramatma cha. Correct? Bhutatma, Paramatma cha. Another example I will give you. Kshetrajno akshara evacha. Evacha. To bring sentence together. But in Lalitha Sahasranama, all these 3 problems are not there. None of the names are repetitive. There is no issue in bringing consonants together, bringing sentence together, or the cohesive meaning together itself, actually. It's a Shuddha Tattvatmika Sahasranama. It's a Shuddha Tattvatmikam. Shuddha Tattvatmikam means there is no any sentence-wise, grammar-wise, meaning-wise, name-wise, there is no any issue in the Sahasranama. Completely. There is no use of this tu, cha, he, ha, vai and all. It is not used anywhere in the Sahasranama to bring sentence construction together for Bhashyakara, it seems actually. And none of the names are repetitive. Each name, because why? Point number 1, you remember? Because Devi herself has chosen the 1,000 names actually. So there is no repetition in her names actually. Nice, na? It's a nice point actually. So there is no what is called as people with knowledge, Sanskrit knowledge, theoretical knowledge, they cannot find a mistake in Lalitha Sahasranama's construction actually. There is no any mistake in Lalitha Sahasranama actually. Absolutely no mistake, because it has been directly given by Devi herself through the Vashanyadi Vagdevatas, as given by Hayagriva himself actually. Now you understand what you are chanting. It's not a normal text actually. Next one. Another interesting fact. Point number 10. If you look into the other Sahasranamas, including Vishnu Sahasranama, the Swarupa of the Devata, the Upasana Paddhati of the Devata, the Charitra of the Devata, the Dhyana of the Devata, the Anga Upanga Devatas, they are not present in the Sahasranama actually. They are not available just like that in the Sahasranama. But Lalita Sahasranamam is the only Sahasranamam which talks about the complete narrative of Devi. Her origin, her mantra, her tantra, her yantra, that is Shri Chakra, how she should be worshipped, who are the Titinitya Devatas, who are the Anga Upanga Devatas, what is the battle she fought, whom she married, including to the fact that she likes payasam, she likes curd rice. Everything is available in the Lalita Sahasranama itself. So knowing one text is enough to attain her actually. You don't have to go in search of text after text actually. Everything is there in that itself. Chitak Nigunda Sambhuta Devaka, where she is coming, origin, they are talking about the origin, everything. Everything means everything in one Sahasranama, she has given everything to us. There is no need for us to look into any other text to understand it actually. Who is Lalita? Sahasranamam is enough to answer it actually. And when we spoke about this, now comes the point to all of us. This Sahasranama Stotram, or this is the only Sahasranama Stotram, in other words, with the other Sahasranamas, including Vishnu Sahasranama, this is a Mantratmika Sahasranama. Mantratmika Sahasranama. Mantras are hidden as the mantra Aksharas. The Navakshari mantra, the Panchadashi mantra, the Sodashi mantra everything is hidden as Aksharas within the Sahasranama itself. It is an Akshara Kalpam. It's an Akshara Kalpam. Okay. Since it is an Akshara Kalpam, Akshara Adhikaratvam is important, it seems. Akshara Adhikaratvam. Now, what is Akshara Adhikaratvam? Mantra Upadesham is mandatory, it seems. Now, so many people will be wondering actually. I'm coming. Wait. Don't jump the guns. Mantra Adhikaram is very important, it seems. Mantra Upadesham is very important, it seems. What mantra Upadesha? Any mantra within the Sri Vidya tradition, you should have the Upadesham. And you should have what is called as at least the foundations of the worship of a Sri Chakram actually. You should have a foundation understanding of the Sri Chakra and the foundation worship of the Sri Chakra as learnt from a guru actually. Sir, I am not having these qualifications. So should I not chant Lalita Sahasranama? This question is there. I don't have a guru. I couldn't find a guru. I don't have a Sri Chakra. I don't have mantra initiation. I don't know any of these things. So I am not qualified. We are qualified. Bhaskaracharya is saying that. And you know what is the qualification Bhaskaracharya is saying? Ananya Bhakti on Amba. Unflinching faith and devotion is what he's having it as a prerequisite qualification to study the Sahasranama. If this Adhikaratvam is there, not there, the mantra Adhikaratvam is not there, because mantra Adhikaratvam is not for everybody, or it is not possible for everybody to maintain that. So, that Ananya Bhakti, Ananya Shakti of that, your Atyanta Bhakti, unflinching faith and devotion upon Devi. Unflinching faith and devotion. You have to make a note of that. So in Tamil, they say, Aval Arulale Aval Tal Vanangi. It's because of her mercy, I'm able to worship her or approach her. So it is her mercy, that it is her kripa, that you are able to recite the Lalita Sahasranama. This is, I'm going to the next point. This is point number 13 I've come to. Because Bhashyakara is giving this example, Bhaskaracharya is talking about this example. In the initial stages, we all have, landed up memorizing this mathematics table, though I've never done it, honestly. Trust me, I could never do it. But all of you have, majority of you have done, all these intelligent fellows, all of you, those who have been in higher positions, done great things in your lives, you would have done this kind of memorization of the table. Correct, na? Two ones are two, two twos are four, two threes are like. But the thing is that this memorization of the tables, though you did it without knowing the meaning or without knowing the purpose, just because you were being asked to do, or that was mandatory, or whatever the reason you did, but eventually at some point of time you landed up understanding why this was done and what was the use and everything. Similarly, you will land up learning the Lalita Sahasranama or reciting the Lalita Sahasranama without knowing the meaning, scope, or the nature of the Lalita Sahasranama. But eventually, with her blessings, you will find the teacher, and the teacher will explain it to you actually. So, Bhaskaracharya is saying that Lalita Sahasranamam is the upay to understand Lalita Sahasranamam actually. If I have to understand Lalita Sahasranamam is the solution actually. I start from there only. Because the Devi whom we are worshipping, how to worship her, how to approach her, what needs to be done, how it should be done. All these things require what is called as knowledge, it seems actually. And to derive that knowledge, we need a teacher. And that teacher is sent by Devi in the right time, and the teacher will reveal everything on behalf of her actually. Right? Just by sitting at home, she will approach us, just the way it is happening to all of us. You have not gone anywhere for seeking this knowledge. The right time has come. Sitting at home, you are getting this knowledge actually. And Bhaskaracharya is very interestingly saying that if somebody has reached that stage, it might be their last janma of not getting out of the punarapi maranam and punarapi jananam. They are in that high possibility that they are in their last stage, perhaps. That's the reason sitting at home, they don't have to go anywhere, it seems. Devi will land up to them, it seems, and Devi will reveal herself. And with that knowledge, they will live and they will get back to her world. They will not take Manushya Janma again and come back to suffer in this world again and again. That she is putting an end to that. So she will directly come, because even no matter wherever you go, this knowledge will come. And knowledge you are not going to derive unless and until she wants to reveal it, it will not be revealed. So if that stage has come, the seeker will get the knowledge. The seeker will understand the truth about her, and the seeker will reach her. So Lalita Sahasranamam is the starting point, and Lalita Sahasranamam is the ending point actually. You start with it at a blind note and you land up by liberating yourself with that knowledge, and you yourself will become that Lalita Sahasranama, and you become Aikyam. Shiva Shakti Aikya Lalitambika is none other than we are actually. The seeker is the Lalitambika at the end. So Bhaskaracharya, the point number 14. So Bhaskaracharya is very clearly saying that we start with that confusion. We start with that note by self-reciting the Lalita Sahasranama, or listening in the YouTube, or listening somebody else saying, or whatever way we start. But at the end of the day, if the Devi's kripa is there, then you will get the Guru, and the Guru will recite and teach you the Lalita Sahasranama with the intricate meaning, and everything is derived about it actually, because it is a mantratmika text. And it was given by the Sreshta Guru Hayagriva himself as sought by Agastya. So the Lalita Sahasranamam in itself is a mantratmika Shakti Swarupam. It's not that Lalita Sahasranamam is not simply a merely a text that is derived from the Brahmanda Purana in terms of a stotram, but it is a powerful mantratmika text actually. Though the seeker will start as a stotra patanam, though we start with the ways of stotram, majority of us start with the ways of stotram, that is as a shloka, as a chanting, we start by ourselves through some or the other way. But ultimately, we will reach to the mantratmika state of it actually, with her grace, not by anything else actually. And that her grace, how it is working? Through the Ananya Bhakti that you have showered upon her over the period of time, actually. Ananya Bhakti, that faith. Yesterday in the Aparajita Stuti, we saw that faith. Remember that faith, actually. That faith is what she will make you to understand this knowledge, because this knowledge will liberate us from this world, actually. So, Guru Mukantra Upadesham. That is point number 14. That you will derive, that the seeker will get it actually by Devi's Anugraham. Point number 15. Now we should look into the Guru and Sishya, the first Guru and Sishya, Hayagriva and Agastya. So let me talk about Hayagriva. So who is Hayagriva basically? Hayagriva, the references for Hayagriva from the Shakta literature, we derive from Devi Bhagavatam actually. Devi Bhagavatam, the first canto, chapter 5, is where we will find the references of Hayagriva Avataram. So how did Hayagriva came into existence? It seems that Mahavishnu, you know that with the powers that was bestowed by Parashakti, Mahavishnu fought Madhu and Kaitaba for almost 1,000 years, correct? And after the 1,000 years of that fight, that war that took place, it seems that Mahavishnu had a small injury of an arrow that went and stuck here in his face, it seems actually. And after that, it seems that with that tiredness, Bhagavan wanted to take rest actually. So Vishnu went into Yoga Nidra with that bow in his face itself actually. Okay. And he was going on sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. It was 1,000 years have passed actually. And meanwhile, the Devatas have fixed a Maha Yajna, it seems, and they wanted to invite Vishnu, because Vishnu, the Trimurtis have to be present in the Yajna actually, Yajna Karyam. Shiva and Brahma were present, but Vishnu is not there. Vishnu is sleeping. So what needs to be done? They were thinking about it. So they decided that they will wake up Vishnu. But according to Dharma Shastra, one of the foundations of Dharma Shastra, if somebody is sleeping and we wake them, it is a very maha big papam, it seems. It's a maha papam. If somebody is sleeping and we wake them up actually. Yeah, see, some of you are very much shocked actually. If somebody is in a deep sleep, we are not supposed to go and wake them up actually. Karpanya dosham it is actually. So they are all worried. That too Vishnu, just imagine, So who is going to undertake this Karpanya dosham? So what will happen? Indra will say, okay, fine, I will take up this, no matter whatever it is, I will take up the curse. But what to do? Because for the Loka Kalyanam, this yajna should take place. So Vishnu should get up. So I will take up this. So what Indra does with the ideas discussion with Brahmaji, they decide that Indra will take a form of a what is called as a wasp, or maybe not even a wasp, like an ant actually. Okay. And he will go and touch Vishnu, and then Vishnu will wake up with that actually. No, he will just scroll on Vishnu and Vishnu will wake up actually. This was the idea actually. And Indra is a very clever Devata, we know, because from Aparajita Stuti itself, we understood that very clearly. So Indra told Brahma and other Devatas, see, I am the one who is doing this and I'm going to get curse also for this. So all of you give me some extra credits for it. All of you give me some extra benefits. With that, I will leave. And then after the curse, I will enjoy those benefits that I'm deriving from you people actually. Very clever, na, actually. So he will get some benefits and then he will take the form of this ant and then go on Vishnu. But what he does, unfortunately, while he will scroll on Vishnu, instead of waking up Vishnu, what he will do is that he will pull the arrow that was stuck on Vishnu's face actually. You remember that there was an arrow that was. So what happened when that arrow was, when that arrow which was stuck in Vishnu's face, it actually got disturbed. Vishnu's head itself came out actually with the arrow. Now everybody is afraid. Vishnu's head is not there. What to be done actually? Okay, na? So what Brahma and Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva were already afraid actually. What to be done, they are not knowing actually. So what Devi, they all run to Devi. At the end, only mother should be the one who should rescue, na? So what they do, they will all run to Devi and they will stand in front of her. Amma, Devi, it happened like this. What to be done actually? So what she says, she instructs, you keep me as the Yajamana of this yajna and conduct the yajna first actually, and then I will give you the yajna phalam. And also I will save Vishnu. So immediately, based on her instructions, they will conduct the yajna. And as a yajna phalam, Devi, at the end of the yajna, from the fire of the yajna, she brings out the Hayavadana. Hayavadana means the face of the horse, actually. And that face of the horse was fit on the body of Vishnu, actually. And that is the way Hayagriva came into existence, actually. And because of this, that because of Devi gave life to Vishnu, that is the form of Hayagriva, Hayagriva is considered to be a Shreshta Devi Upasaka. Was considered to be the Shreshta. Shreshta means what? One of the finest Devi Upasaka. And we have one of the traditions. We have various tradition students coming up for Sri Vidya tradition. That is from the Dakshinamurti, we have tradition. From Dattatreya, we have tradition. We have tradition from Hayagriva. We have the tradition even from Yamadeva. Yama's tradition is what all the Devatas are following actually. So these are the four major traditions. Three traditions are there in this Bhumi. And then Yama's tradition is what the Devatas are following actually. Devi Upasana, they are following actually. Got it, all of you? So with that, Hayagriva came into existence. And because Hayagriva was Shreshta Devi Upasaka, Hayagriva got the first transmulation of Lalitha Sahasranama from the Vashanyadi Bhag Devatas, and Hayagriva as a guru gave the Upadesham to to Agastya. Understood? And as Agastya was Maharishi, he disseminated the knowledge to everybody. Agastya gave the knowledge to the entire world actually. That is the way Lalitha Sahasranamam came into existence, and that is the short detail, the description of Hayagriva's coming into existence from the form of Mahavishnu. Now Agastya, point number 16. How did Agastya came into existence? Mitra and Varuna. You heard these two celestial devatas, Mitran and Varunan? Agastya is a form of the combination of Mitra and Varuna. Agastya Mahamuni. And over the time, this Agastya Mahamuni, he gathered all his tapas. He gathered all the powers that he had, and he gave it to one couple, it seems. That is, he wanted that his forefathers should be happy and his family lineage to continue. So what he does, he converts the entire tapas in a form of a woman, a small girl, and he hand it over to a couple, it seems. And that couple, that to whom he has given, they upbring this girl and they name her as Lopamudra. They name her as Lopamudra. And once Lopamudra attained a particular age, who was none other than Agastya's Tapas Shakti itself, Agastya marries Lopamudra. And Agastya Mahamuni runs his family. And as a Grihastha, you know that he needs money to run the family, correct? So what he does, what generally rishis they will do, they will go and approach the kings for their alms. They will go and approach the king. But interestingly, Agastya Mahamuni had a had an important rule for kings to give him alms for him to run the Dharma Karya. You know what was it? Agastya Mahamuni had laid this rule, it seems. I don't want money from all the ways and means in which you bring into the state. I want money only from the Satkaryam that you have done, and that Satkaryam money which you are going to use for the welfare of all the prajas, that is for all the beings in the state, and in that money which was actually left over, I want that money. It seems that none of the Rajas had that money, it seems. Just imagine at that point of time itself. So none of the Rajas had, it seems. So what happened? Agastya, he didn't want it to break what he had in his mind. So if Rajas are in this shape, then Agastya decided that let me go and ask from Asuras actually. So Ilvan, Ilvaha and Vatapi, Ilvan and Vatapi, there were two of these demon kings were there, it seems. But they had a lot of money, it seems. They had a lot of money. And Agastya felt it is better that I will go and take money from them because they are ready to give to Agastya rather than from these corrupt kings, who are doing all kinds of things to run the state. It is better that I'll go and take from these Asuric kings. So he takes money from them and he was doing his upasana and he was running his family, it seems actually. And this is given in Mahabharata, Vanaparva Kanda. This is given, it seems. The reference is from the Vanaparvam from the Mahabharata. So why we are saying this is that Agastya wanted money because you know that Sri Vidya is full of Aishwaryam actually. It needs a lot of resource to be worshipped because we are worshipping a queen actually. It's not that she is Shiva. You just pluck some vilvam, you pour some water and you make her happy, means she will be happy. She needs pattu vastram, she needs jewelry, she needs finest food, she needs all kinds of fruits, flowers, just the way we did our Sri Chakra Pratishtapana. Like imagine like that. Agastya is doing 367 bar into, all the days he is worshipping Devi. So how much of money is required actually? How much of resources is required actually? So that's the reason Agastya wanted resources so that he can worship Devi actually. And this Divya Tampati, that is Lopamudra Sameta Agastya Maharishi, actually approached Hayagriva and pleaded to Hayagriva that, this knowledge that we have on Devi, how should it be systematically given to the world actually? Because they are rishis, right? Rishis are our forefathers, basically, foundational forefathers actually. So they had the deep concern for us as their children, and they asked to Hayagriva actually, what we are practicing might be very, very difficult. They are saying that what we are practicing, that is what is I and Lopamudra are practicing, it is very difficult as the times will evolve actually. So what my children should do, what my Sandati should do, that they will be able to derive the same benefit that we are doing it actually. Then Agastya Maharishi declares that you give Lalitha Sahasranamam to the world. That will be the same power and potential of that pujas and the mantra ucharanas and all the tattvatmika lakshanas and all the benefits that you are deriving, that your children will also derive the same. And that is the way Lalita Sahasranama came into existence, actually. And this Devi decided much before itself, when she revealed her 1,000 names, or when she rather decided to reveal her 1,000 names to Vashinyadi Devatas, actually. She had this master plan already. She already know that Hayagriva will come into existence. She already know that Agastya will come into existence. She already know that you and me will come into existence. That's the reason she gave the Lalita Sahasranama, actually. And the final point, the 18th point for the day. So Bhaskaracharya has given, before even writing the Lalita Sahasranama, getting into the conversation of what is that happened between Agastya and Hayagriva, Lalita Bhaskaracharya is declaring there are Ashta prayogams, very important Ashta prayogams in Lalita Sahasranama. 8 prayogas which we can do on ourselves, on others. On others means provided we have the derivative powers of the sadhana, very important. Otherwise, we can do it for ourselves. What are the Ashta prayogams I'm going to talk about, actually? The Ashta prayogas are the first prayoga as it is laid in the Lalita Sahasranamam itself. It is not outside the Lalita Sahasranamam. Within the Lalita Sahasranamam, it is there, actually. Ayushkara prayoga. Ayushyakara prayoga. This is for a healthy life, for a prolonged healthy life. Why prolonged healthy life? Not to sit with your family members and keep fighting and crying every day. To worship her, actually. What is it? To worship her. And what is to be done? We offer Pancha Upachara Puja. You all know what is Pancha Upacharam, right? Dhupa Deepa, Nevedya, Tambula, Deeparadhana. Okay, 5 offerings to Lalitambika on the Paurnami, on the full moon day. And meditating on the moon, actually, particularly on the orb of the moon, on the boundaries of the moon, we meditate on that particular night. When it is a full moon, looking into the moon. You remember on the full moon, I asked you to go and have darshan of. This is the reason, basically. Why whatever we do, everything has Shastra Pramanam, actually, not according to anybody's whims and fancies, actually. So you look into the moon and you meditate Lalita Sahasranama, actually. And that is going to give longevity in life, actually. And what is the reference? Lalita Sahasranama, 255 and 256 mantras, actually. Number 2. Sarva Jvarati Smashana Prayogaha. Sarva Jvarati Samana Prayogaha. Sorry. Sarva Jvarati Samana Prayogaha. Juram. Juraha. Juraha means what? Fever. Fever or any of the basic ailments, if we are suffering, what the Lalita Sahasranamam is saying is that you keep the hand upon that patient, on their head, and chant the Lalita Sahasranama completely. And you see the relief is given for the chanting. Because of the chanting, definitely the relief will be there. All the jvarata, that is the fever, will be revealed, will be removed. And what is the reference? 257 Nama. Namavali 257. Number 3. Sarva Vyadihara. Sarva Vyadiharanam. For removing all kinds of life-threatening ailments, actually. So what we should do, it seems, we should Vibhuti, all of you know Vibhuti, right? The sacred ashes, actually, what we call. So you do the Lalita Sahasranamam Japam on the Vibhuti. And you keep applying that Vibhuti for yourself or the one who is suffering with the ailment, so that we see that there is a progress, that there is a healing, there's a rejuvenation that is happening in the one who is suffering with ailments, actually. Sarva Vyadhi Hara Nivaranam. Next one. Graha Badashana Prayogaha. Graha Bada Nashana Prayogaha. Graha Bada Nashana Prayogaha. How this is to be done, it seems? We invoke Lalita Sahasranamam in a glass of water or in a pot which is filled with water, and we sanctify it with the repetition of the Lalita Sahasranama and sprinkle it on the person who is suffering with the malefic effects of planets or is being warded by what is called as, bhuta or pishachas, actually. If there is any malefic effects are there, we invoke the Lalita Sahasranama in the water and sprinkle upon them, actually. Or we invoke that water, we sprinkle, and also we make them to drink, particularly all those who are suffering with bad planetary effects, actually. The planets are in very bad positions or in houses which is not favorable, in whatever astrological houses they are present in, and they are not, favorable for the individual. Visha Nivaranam. Number 5, Visha Nivarana Prayogam. The last one, the reference is Nama 259, actually. 259. Vishan Nivarana Prayogam. Of course, you will understand Visham is poison. Any kind of poison. Food poison to any kind of poison, including poisoning that others can do upon us, actually. Poisoning not through some physical poison, by their words, the poison they can inflict upon us, actually. To get rid of that, actually. We keep meditating Lalita Parameshwari as she is seated in the ocean of nectar. The other day we did the meditation where we saw her in the galaxies. You remember? Like that, we have to do meditation, it seems, so that Visham, the effect of that poison or negativity which is present in our aura, can be cleansed, actually. The next one, Vanita Karshana Prayogaha. Though it is very detailed way it is given by Bhaskaracharya, I'm not getting into the details. In a very simple way, I'm saying Vanita Karshanam means if we have a deep desire on a particular kind of a life partner, both men or women, we can conceptualize that kind of that qualities that we are looking forward to, and we actually land up chanting the Lalita Sahasranama. Our desire will come into reality. Reference of Namavali 262. Next one, Raja Karshana Prayoga. I think most of you would be interested in this, particularly all those working in corporates, my corporate students. Raja Karshana Prayoga. If you want to really attract your boss, who's always like, very, very hard upon you, you have to do the recitation of Lalita Sahasranama for 3 whole nights, it seems. 3 whole nights concentrating on Devi. And then you will see that your boss is actually changing his attitude and behavior towards you. Raja Karshana Prayoga. Reference 263 to 265. 265. Namavali. from the Lalita Sahasranama, Raja Karshana Prayogaha. Apart from these 8, Bhaskaracharya is saying that, the one who repeats Lalita Sahasranamam on a day-to-day basis, he will be able to hypnotize the entire world, and whatever he or she will desire, he or she can manifest it actually. 266 Namavali. And the one who actually chants Lalita Sahasranama, he will be protected by the Shat Karma Devatas of Lalita. Who are the Shat Karma Devatas? Sarabeshwara, number 1. Shat Karma means 6. One is Sarabeshwara. Number 2, Pratyangira. Number 3, Martanda Bhairava. Number 4, Kshetra Palaka. Number 5, number 6, Nakuleshwari. Nakuleshwari. And number 6, Dandini. So that Shat Karmas, the Shat Karma Devatas, they themselves will be protecting us, and all they will be doing all the Shat Karma on behalf of us. And Bhaskaracharya is saying further, the one who performs Sahasranama Japa on Navami, Chaturdashi, Sukruvaraha, or Paurnami. Navami, Chaturdashi, Sukruvaraha, or Paurnami will get the Sakshatkara of Lalitambika. And at the end, Bhaskaracharya has nailed it actually. If you don't want to do any of these prayogas, and your sole motive is to understand yourself in relationship to this world, why you are born, why are you suffering, and what is the reason behind all these things, you will attain Brahmajnanam. If you don't want any of these things also, it is not going to be a waste, sir. You are going to attain Brahmajnanam, Samrajya Mukti. And you will be freed from Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam. 297 Namavali. And such a person who is actually qualified for that Brahmajnanam, he or she will learn the Shri Chakra Upasana of Lalitambika, 292-94, and practice that for lifelong, and will reach Parashakti by becoming herself. Finished. Lalita Sahasranamam, Falashruti. Become Lalita herself, it seems Bhaskaracharya is saying. The one who doesn't want anything, note that point, but only want Lalita, will attain what? Brahmajnanam. He or she who is actually qualified for Brahmajnanam, or rather has reached that spot, will definitely learn what is called as the Shri Chakra Upasana, will be able to practice that Shri Chakra Upasana until the end of his last final breath in some or the other form. And he or she will become Lalita herself and attain the Lalita Lokam, Shri Puram, and become Shri Pura Paramatma Tattvam. So this was not even the prelude to Lalita Sahasranama. This, as I told you, there were some very fun facts of Lalita Sahasranama, and I hope you all enjoyed this class. And in the next class, we will actually start with the conversation between Agastya and Hayagriva, and we will discuss the details of Lalita Sahasranama. I hope you all enjoyed this class, and this really made sense for all of you. And you have learned something very unique, and this is going to help you to chant Lalitha Sahasranama with much more vigor, bhakti, that atyanta prema that we are talking about. And Devi is going to make each one of you qualified for Brahma Jnanam and attain Shri Puram by becoming Shri Shiva Shakti Aikya Lalitambika Yai Namaha. Let's all reach that and let's all aspire for that with the purest of purest heart, actually. Thank you so much. Let me finish the class with Mangalam. सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते जयन्ती मङ्गला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वदा नमोऽस्तु ते ॐ शान्तिः 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 सर्वं श्रीचण्डी महालक्ष्मी अर्पणमस्तु तथास्तु. Thank you so much. Good night. See you all in the next class.